Hello again, everyone. This is Santotaku with Team by the Trigger, bringing you another match between myself and Brony from this past weekend. We had some interest in seeing a bit more of Brony's Angel Feathers in action, so I made sure to get a couple games of it recorded. So I hope you enjoy. And starting off the match in the lower right-hand corner, we have Brony using his signature Angel Feather deck. He rides into his Battle Cupid Nasiel, moving his Hope Child Turiel to the back row and passing over to me. I ride into my Circle Magus and check the top card in my deck and leave it right there. Circle Magus will swing, and I check my Gemini. He will take a critical trigger as the damage on the defense, which will not help him all too much here. So it's his turn. He rides into his Million Ray Pegasus and calls a Memory Core to make a modest turn 2 attack. He will swing for 9k against my 7k Vanguard, but he does have the drive, so it will be a good attack to let right on through this early in the game. He does not get a trigger, but he does drive his perfect guard as I lose mine to the damage. Now his Memory Core will attack boosted by Turiel, and it'll be a 14 on 7, but an easy 10k block from the Sphere Magus will make sure that doesn't get through. So damage is tied as he passes over to me. I ride into Battle Sister Mocha, and in lieu of calling a second attacking rearguard column, I do call the Circle Magus to boost. This early in the game, especially against units like Million Ray Pegasus, you don't want to be too aggressive against them. The attack here going through puts his unit up to 11k, and a lot of rearguards aren't going to be able to hit that unboosted. So to conserve hand, it's usually good just to boost your Vanguard. Plus, you don't want to give him the option to attack a rearguard, so you can get to 2 damage for Coco. So his Shamashil comes out, followed by Lion-Hearted Angel, which is his solid 11k beater. As long as his damage is equal to or greater than his opponent's, that's an 11k attacker. Shamashil will attack now, which I will let through, and he gets a critical trigger. He applies the crit to Shamashil and the power to Core Memory. I lose a Wise Man, but take a defensive critical trigger, putting my Mocha up to 13k. Now Memory Core will attack at 19k, but that's nothing that another 10k block can't fix. And here comes the Psychic Bird. There we go. And unfortunately, due to the defensive critical trigger, that Lion-Hearted Angel can't get through this turn. Now I ride into Coco, which is great for me. This is always the important turn for any Oracle Think Tank player, is the grade 3 ride. And netting myself 3 cards to give myself a chance to come back on the offensive here. I call a Scarlet Witch Coco to the rearguard, making a decent 15k column against a 10k Vanguard. But I think we all know what's going to happen next here as he lifts the card out of his hand. He calls his Battle Cupid Nosiel, giving him the damage switch ability, which means that his Shamashil is going to be a 12k. On top of the 5k shield, it's going to bring him up to a 17k, messing around with the magic numbers that are needed to get over him. And now my Vanguard will attack at 20. I apply the power to my rearguard in hopes of a stand trigger, but no such luck. So taking the lead in damage, I pass it back over to him as he stands and he draws. Looks like he has a really decent hand right now. He just picked up a Calamity Flame if he needs it. Looks like a perfect guard, some decent offense and defense. He really probably wants that booster in the damage zone there, but he's not a limit break, so he can't really swap unless he uses Turiel. But he does call the 1000 Ray Pegasus, which is solid behind Nurse Shamashil there. And he thinks over his hand and he goes to attack now. And he decides on the Lion-Hearted Angel. So that's an 11k on my Vanguard, which will be an easy 5k block, discarding a Gemini. Now his Vanguard will attack, 17 on 10. It's still an early point in the game. The score is 3-2 right now in my favor. So it's sort of difficult to decide whether or not I want to block it, but I do let it on through, and he does get the offensive draw trigger as I lose a Mocha. And now his his Core Memory will attack at 19k on my rearguard Coco, in hopes of getting off his draw effect, but I will drop a 10k shield to make sure that does not happen. So I stand and draw, and once again I ride into Coco, drawing 2 more cards, trying to keep up with the advantage that he's generating for himself. And what really needs to happen here is a 3rd offensive column to try and eliminate the advantage that Brony got from his draw trigger and just the ability to swap cards in and out of his hand. And there we go, there's a Mocha and a Circle Magus. So that's going to be 18 attacking the Lion-Hearted Angel, which he will let on through, followed by a 20k on his Vanguard. And the first check is a critical trigger, and the second check is an Apollon. But he will get the heal trigger, which will go off here, which is going to be huge for him because now his Vanguard's 17, and now it's 19. 19 on the defensive. So finally, Coco at 15 is going to have to go for the core memory. Cannot hit the Vanguard here, and core memory will go away. Unfortunately, I was able to eliminate his offensive force, but his hand is so huge at this point in the game that he's not going to have much of a difficult time recovering. So there's his Calamity Flame, and there's his Million Ray Pegasus called the Rearguard. And because he's at limit break now, all of them are hitting magic numbers with the exception of Calamity Flame. He just needs a booster over there. So he counterblasts for Turiel's effect. Everyone's going to get a plus 2k right there. And he puts away an extra Shamus Shield and gets his Sunny Smile Angel to hand another 10k shield. And Shamus Shield will attack now, already at a plus 4k now. So we're looking at about 25k. Yeah, 25k on the Vanguard. So it's going to be very difficult to block at this point in the game. Scores 4-3. 3 damage is usually a good point where you can take a Vanguard attack. And he gets another offensive draw trigger, putting it on his Million Ray Pegasus there, who's already up to 13k, 18k now with the power. His Calamity Flame is going to attack at 14 on Mocha, and Mocha will drop for the team. And now an 18k on the Vanguard with the Million Ray Pegasus, which an Oracle Guardian Nike will block with no problem. So stand and draw from my side of the table. And I call a Psychic Bird and soul charge it to draw a card. And the ever important Silent Tom, followed by a Luck Bird to empty the soul back out and draw another card. Once again, just trying to keep up with the advantage that he's generated from his draw triggers. And this is really an example of quantity trying to surpass quality here. His hand is so good because he can swap cards in and out, but I'm just trying to draw a ton of cards to even it out. He drops a Nociel here. Once again, all of his units get a 2k boost. My Vanguard will attack at 20 against a 12, which will be a 10k block, where it would normally be a 15, but he will just drop the Perfect Guard here. And his hand is so good right now that he can actually discard a 10k shield without even thinking about it. So there's the first check, a Coco, and second check, a Silent Tom. And Silent Tom's at 15, but all of the units are above the 15k mark. At this point, I'm going to attack the Million Ray Pegasus because it is an interceptor, but it's 15 on 11, and it looks like his hand is all zeros, so that that Million Ray Pegasus doesn't have a chance unless he wants to blow that Perfect Guard. So he's thinking about it. Yep, alright, there it goes. So passing back to him, the score is still tied at 4-4. He did get a Love Machine Gun Nociel to his hand there, which looks like he will call to the Vanguard or to the Rearguard position, which will allow him to swap, giving Calamity Flame and Shamus Shield another 2,000 power here. Just going to put down that booster and get back another Nociel, looks like. Calls a Sunny Smile and another Sunny Smile to the boosting positions. So the grand total of this attack is going to be 25k. So this is going to mean that I'm going to need at the very minimum 20k to guard in order to make it a 1 to pass. So this is a really difficult situation. To be honest, sometimes even at 4 damage, it's easier to let the attack through because of how devastating it is going to be on my hand. But in this situation here, I am going to drop down 30k with 3 cards, which is going to be pretty rough. And here it comes. Yep, 30k with 3 cards. This right here is really a crucial moment of the game, and it happens to pretty much everyone. You swing with your Vanguard, your opponent drops 3 to 4 cards to create a 2 to pass situation, and your first drive check is a trigger. The question arises, where do you put the power? Obviously the safe move is to put it on another unit. Triggers aren't something you want to throw away in this game, and the chances of getting 2 in a row can be pretty rough. And you can wipe out your opponent's hand by pumping up one of your rear guards. However, what if it's a crit? The trigger can end the game on the spot, despite your opponent's guard, eliminating all chances of a comeback. Choosing the right place to put your triggers is almost always completely a playstyle choice. But against decks like Spectral Duke and Solus OTT, you can completely skip over the hand advantage they've generated by going for it. But if you fail, the chances of them coming back is that much stronger without the power of your triggers. Okay, and back to the action here. Brony did get a critical hit Angel, a crit trigger, and here is where he's going to decide where to put the power, and this will make or break the game right here, deciding where this goes. He has a 25k Vanguard. He decides to go for it. He puts on Shamashiel, follows up with a Sunny Smile Angel, making it more than enough to surpass the shields. Here comes the first check, a Souffle, and the second check, a Chocolat. And that is the game. Alright, let's take a look at the match breakdown. There was a total of 10 triggers driven through the course of the game, with most of them showing up on Brony's side of the field. The key to the game was gutsy and timely trigger checking by Brony. He got draw triggers early in the game when he needed to create huge card advantage, as well as a solid defensive heal trigger to stunt the offense that Coco was preparing. Combine that with the ability to perfect your hand by using your damage zone efficiently, and you have a recipe for victory. The final play of the game was a quick end to a game against a deck like Solus OTT, which has a potential to bite you in the butt if you don't squelch it early. There's only one perfect guard played all game, which is unfortunate for me as I probably needed it most. Games like this really emphasize how important perfect guards are to the current meta. Units can get up to 25k and higher without even breaking a sweat. Not even a 2 to pass block is enough to guarantee your Vanguard a safe. There was some disparity in the power of the most powerful units of this game. Scarlet Witch Coco rose to a standard 20k with a boost from Circle Vegas, which is a respectable number, but on the other side of the table, due to a combination of cards like Love Machine Gun Nasiel, Million Ray Pegasus, and Chief Nurse Shamashiel's Limit Break, and of course a gutsy trigger play, Nurse Shamashiel was able to hit the 35k mark, allowing the game to end with a final score of 6-4, with Brony taking the win. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the match. I wanted to let you all know we were able to work out everything with the camera angle, so next week we're going to be able to get you a tag battle on film, so stay tuned for that. And as always, like, favorite, and subscribe as you see fit. Don't forget to check out the Team by the Trigger blog. You'll find a link in the description below. Don't forget to, if you have any special requests on types of matches or any specific clan that you want to see in our films, we'll be sure to get that up for you right away. Just let us know in the comments below. Once again, this was Santotaku. Until next time.